Welcome to a Stretch for the Mind, a series where we combine the physical and the mental side of performance by going through a mobility flow, some stretching, and covering a key concept in sport psychology. Today we're going to get stuck into focus on game day, what we want to take with us when we're going into a performance. And while we're doing that, we're going to go through some mobility, some stretches that are going to help open up or maybe loosen out our hips, purely because that's what I feel like doing today. So to start, we're going to come into a tabletop position and we're going to do some hip cars. So what you're going to do is fully extend your leg behind you and then think about rotating your hip, bringing your knee forward nearly towards your elbow and then back down again by your side. We're going to do a few of these on each side. Nice and slow and controlled. Going into game day, sometimes that is when the nerves kick in. With the nerves can come maybe some doubts, some feelings of anxiety. We might wonder how it's going to go, and we might find it difficult to focus on the things that are going to help us the most. We're going to switch sides. See, a side effect of nerves is often this narrowed focus, which can be helpful if we can focus on things that are helpful to our performance, but it can be unhelpful if we end up fixating on things that are unhelpful to our performance. Keeping with that slow and controlled movement. And what we're going to do next is come to a seated position. One leg fully extended. The other leg is going to be underneath it. So you're kind of crossed like this. You're going to keep that cross leg down, lift your leg and bring it around to the side. And then leaning over to one side. So when we're going into our performance, it's good to pre-plan what we want to focus on. And a simple thing we can think about is, what are the most important things for me to perform? Because if we think about performing in sport, there might be many things that we could do. Like I think about myself going in to play a handball game, I might think, okay, I need to execute this serve. I need to move this way. I need to control the center. I need to kill the ball. I need to get down low off the back wall. I need to push them onto their weak side. And suddenly there's like this long list of things that I want to focus on. And that can be kind of hard to really focus on any of them well. So what we can do is sit down, or now we're going to be here, but what I'll often do is sit down with a pen and a paper and think, okay, when I perform my best, what are the 3 to 5 things that I'm doing most consistently? We're going to swap sides. I'm going to change my side here so I have a bit more room. But we're doing the same thing on the opposite leg. So the question is, what are the 3 to 5 things that are the most important to me performing well? So to start, I would say super important for me to get a good comprehensive warm-up in where I take space for myself, and that's where I start to lock in on what I'm about to do. Then one of the most important things for me is between rallies, I'm going to take a deep breath to center myself and give myself one piece of instructional self-talk. So that might be follow through on your serve. It might be move my feet on the return of serve. The third thing for me is, I might often say, play attackingly. You know, when I'm playing my best, I'm playing attackingly. I'm putting the other person under pressure and I'm going for those offensive shots when the moment arises. So that's 3 kind of core things that I'll often take with me into a performance. But on top of that, it might depend on what I've been working on in training. So maybe something I've been working on this season is drop low and use your sidearm off the back wall. Go for a kill on those back wall setups. So that might be the 4th thing that I take into performance. So by narrowing it down, and if I ask myself, okay, Ciana, if I do those things, will I perform well? Oftentimes, yes. Those are the main things that encompass a good performance. And then of course there's other details that follow because I'm doing those things. So it goes from, okay, here's 10 things you need to focus on executing, to here's 3 to 4 core things. And by writing them down, I can actually look at that and remind myself of it when I start to feel nervous, if it's the morning of a game, or in the car, or when I'm warming up. Next, we're going to do some hip 90-90s. So you're getting both knees at a 90-degree angle, and then you're going to rotate over to the opposite side. You can have your hands on the ground as well. I kind of like to, because often I'm moving around a lot doing this. The thing with focus on game day is it's so helpful to do this because focus is so important to our performance. What you focus on is going to greatly influence how you perform. So when you focus on your own actions, the things you're going to do, you're more likely to be able to play that way compared to if we're going in focused or concerned with someone else, the court, the ref, the outcome of the performance. So we're bringing it back to what I know I can do on the court. So that's a simple thing for you to think about, is what are the most important things to my performance? And I want you to take a moment right now while we're moving through our hip 90-90s to really think about that. What am I doing when I perform my best? If you want to add to this, you can also lean over on the side that you're rotated to and then switch over again. And to finish, we're going to come into a frog pose. So it's similar to a child's pose, but we're getting our knees out wide. It might actually be nice to do this lengthways on the mat, but you'll see that my feet are pointed to the side. I'll get hands in front and I'm going to sit back into the hips. And I'm going to emphasize writing down your focus, because when we write things down, it's able to sink in more. It's not just a thought in my head. I can actually see it in front of me. And especially when you start to get nervous or maybe have some doubts or questions, being able to see the facts in front of you is really helpful, because sometimes we can't really trust ourselves to be able to focus on these things when there is pressure on and when we feel slightly stressed about how things are going to go. Take a nice deep breaths into this stretch. And we can either keep holding or relax. And I'm sure you've heard me say it before. If not, I'll say it again. Focus is one of the most important things when it comes to performance. Your focus is going to directly impact how you perform, and you get to choose what you focus on. You can help yourself focus on things that help you perform, or you can leave it up to chance and hope that you focus on things when it matters most. It's up to you.